Welcome. For the next 10 minutes or so, as the music plays, we'd like to invite you to close your eyes, relax, rest in the divine presence, and hold space.
Ganapataye Namo Namaha Gam Ganapataye Namo Namaha Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vigna Karadura Hamari Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vigna Karadura Hamari Ganapataye Namo Namaha Suklam Bharadram Vishnu Sasivarnam Chaturvajam Prasannadanam Dhyaye Sarvavignyopashantaye Shankam Ganapataye Namo Namaha Ram Ganapataye Namo Namaha Ram Ganapataye Namo Namaha Ram Ganapataye Namo Namaha Ram Ganapataye Namo Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vigna Karadura Hamari Jai Ganesha Gananata Dayaniti Sakala Vigna Karadura Hamari
Namaste. Welcome to our weekly online Satsang. Satsang being a Sanskrit word that means community of truth, or spiritual community, wherever two or more people who are on the path of awakening come together to share their awakening journeys, their challenges, their strengths, to encourage one another. We have a Satsang. So, welcome. It's a very important part of our spiritual journey to join with others that are in the process of awakening themselves. It strengthens us exponentially, so we're glad you're here. Humanity needs to shift and do it quickly from this insane world of competition, conflict, and war into a new earth rooted in cooperation, harmony, and peace. We're aiming in that direction, one person at a time. It's going to require awakening and the flowering of the heart. We believe that when enough of us have awakened, and it's happening so rapidly, when enough of us cross that threshold into awakening, we believe the collective consciousness itself will shift. That's when the earth is going to change. So we're working full speed ahead for that eventuality. To help, we have a transmission that we call the Flowering Heart Blessing, which is a transmission of divine enlightened consciousness and presence that catalyzes awakening and the flowering of the heart in the receivers. It activates and energizes that place at the center of our being where we connect with the divine source within. The entire divine source, the entire divine infinite being itself dwells within you with the whole universe. Just awaiting our discovery. So, thank you for being here. The Flowering Heart Blessing is a transmission of divine presence and consciousness that is a free gift of grace from the divine itself. And once you've received it, you're initiated to invite the divine to pour it through you. And you're receiving it right now. Just being here, you're soaking in the presence of the Flowering Heart Blessing. And so we invite you to join us in sending the blessing to all the participants tonight and those that will be viewing this recording at any time in the future. You can share the Flowering Heart Blessing various ways. We're doing it now by intention, which can be done in meditation or in prayer at a distance. And there's sharing the blessing by touch in the physical presence of the person receiving. For that, you need to get their informed consent. Let them know this is going to change things for them. And just lay your hands very gently on top of their head. Invite the divine to flow through you with the Flowering Heart Blessing, and then just get out of the way and feel what happens. There's a lot more information, and if you should want it, an initiation video on our website at floweringheart.org. You're welcome to use that video, play it with a friend or two of yours, and how long is it? 36 minutes. 36 minutes later, all of you will be initiated blessing givers and can begin to share the blessing with each other, and you have the beginning of a blessing circle, a group, a spiritual community right where you are. So please do that if you're not already part of a spiritual community. Help start one. And we'll be glad to share those materials with you. What else?
Book club?
Yes, we started our new book club and centering prayer group yesterday. It will be every Sunday at 2 p.m. for an hour or so here at Flowering Heart Center in Clearwater, Florida, and also online through Zoom. So wherever you are, you can participate. We're starting, the first book is Open Mind, Open Heart by Thomas Keating. Really illuminated, deeply, highly enlightened Christian monk, teacher, and one of the fathers of the centering prayer movement. Centering prayer being a simple practice that helps us open ourselves to receive the grace of infused contemplation. Contemplation, infused contemplation, is something the divine presence itself does. Apart from our will or anything we do, the divine just begins to work inside of us, transforming us and taking us into divine union. Centering prayer is a practice to help us prepare our faculties and open ourselves to receive that amazing gift. It's not too late to join us. All the information is on our website at floweringheart.org. And please join us. We're having a good time. Anything else? Oh yes, this coming Sunday, as if there wasn't enough going on, will be our monthly interfaith communion with the Cosmic Christ. It is just what it says. It's interfaith. Everybody's welcome, regardless of your faith tradition or lack thereof, what you believe or don't believe. And we're focusing on the Cosmic Christ, which is that aspect of the divine that is without beginning and without end, that is pure love and mercy and healing, which Christians believe incarnated in the human form of Jesus of Nazareth some 2,000 years ago. So you could relate to Christ in that human form. You could also relate to Christ in the cosmic form. And many people these days are connecting with Christ consciousness, whether they're Kriya yogis or Sufis or Mahayana Buddhists. So many people are connecting with the heart path and beginning to blossom into and gain an understanding through direct experience of Christ consciousness. So that is at 11 a.m. on the last Sunday of the month, which will be this coming Sunday. Please join us. I think that will be the 25th of it will be the 25th, next Sunday at 11 a.m. That's also, you can watch it on Facebook Live or Vimeo or LinkedIn or YouTube. The easiest thing is to watch it right here on Facebook Live. But you can also come to our center in person. We'd love to have you here on Sunday morning, and we have a really good time with those monthly interfaith communions. I think that's it. Okay. Well, we really like to open it right at this point to questions and answers on the spiritual journey, on awakening, divine union, previous lives, future lives, whatever's on your mind, meditation, prayer. We like those deep questions. Anything you might like more clarity, more light on, it moves the divine to inspire us, and it helps everyone in the satsang, because while our journeys are all unique, they parallel one another in significant ways. So while you're checking inside what question your spirit or the divine might be prompting you to ask to inspire our discussion in the satsang tonight, I'm going to share some quotes with you. 12 quotes about rebirth and renewal. I share these quotes and brief articles each week from a website called inspiringquotes.com. This week the article is by Joyce Chen, who's a writer, editor, and community builder based in Seattle, Washington. And we've enjoyed a number of her articles in recent months. So here's what she has to say. Rebirth is most often associated with religious or spiritual beliefs in a soul and its journey after one's biological death. Also known as reincarnation, the concept supposes that every living being begins a new life in a new body after its physical form expires in this life. It's a belief that is deeply rooted in the idea of karma. Who or what we become in the next life is predicated on who or what we are in our current existence. But there's another more abstract way of considering the concept of rebirth. That is how we shed old habits or learn new skills in order to remake ourselves even in this one life. Take, for instance, the idea of a clean slate or a fresh start, both of which can represent rebirth, renewal, and second chances. Of course, such a seismic shift doesn't happen without ample impetus. Just as a phoenix is born out of ashes, so must there be some form of wreckage in order for a rebuilding to take place. Here we've rounded up 12 quotes that touch on the concept of rebirth as both a spiritual reawakening and its more pedestrian counterpart, a comeback. So let's dive in. Here's the first quote. Each night, when I go to sleep, I die. And the next morning when I wake up, I am reborn. Mahatma Gandhi. Long is the cycle of birth and death to the fool who does not know the true path. Buddha. It is not more surprising to be born twice than once. Everything in nature is resurrection. Voltaire. In order to rise from its own ashes, a phoenix first must burn. Octavia Butler. I tend to think of death as being like changing your clothes when they're old and worn out, rather than as some final end. Sogyal Rinpoche, Tibetan Buddhist teacher. How do you plan a rebirth? I'm not sure you do. You just stand in the darkness until you can't endure it any longer, and then you move forward until you're standing in the light. Questlove. For each of us, there comes a time when we must awaken and become what we were born to become. Seth Adam Smith, author. Wise is the one who flavors the future with some salt from the past. Becoming dust is no threat to the phoenix born from the ash. Curtis Tyrone Jones, author and motivational speaker. Following dark winter's strife, a warm air rises, teemed with life. Birth, rebirth as the waiting die, old love, new love sprouts wings to fly. Far West Nagel, author. Life is a cycle, a great wheel that turns throughout time. We are born, we live, we die, and if we're lucky, we're reborn again. Robin Bekar, author. Spring is far more than just a changing of seasons. It's a rebirth of the spirit. Tony Sorensen, author. I look upon death to be as necessary to our constitution as sleep. We shall rise refreshed in the morning. Benjamin Franklin.
Nice.
Yeah, those are nice. Ah, but alas, there are no questions. Must be that winter silence. Mm-hmm. Well, I have 20 more quotes on another subject. Have anything on your mind? I've been sharing a lot the last few days.
I just find it interesting that Phoenix Rising came up twice in there, and it came up in a conversation we were having with some friends the other day too, about the state of the affairs of the world and just letting go of your identity with yourself and with everything around us and becoming new and renewing. And it almost feels like at a certain level the world's going through that right now. There are systems in place that aren't working and things that are hurting the ecology and climate and all of that. And it's like, if we keep doing what we're doing, it's not going to change. And I've been meditating lately on how commercial holidays are and how there's this big push to buy new things instead of repair or recycle or reuse. And I've just been getting a deeper insight because I've been going through and cleaning out closets and organizing different spaces in our house, and it's putting me through quite a process. And it's a good contemplation. It's a good meditation. It's like, do I really need this? And sometimes it's hard to let go of things because you think, oh, I might need this in the future. But then there's also this concept that a friend that was visiting said, well, why don't you get rid of it? It's just sitting there in a closet and somebody else could be using it. And so it takes letting go of stuff into a different twist. Instead of like you're letting go of something you don't want to let go of, you're giving the opportunity to somebody else to be able to use it and enjoy it. I know there's been a lot of websites and blogs and stuff on this for organizing, but it's been a good meditation of mine, especially coming up on spring cleaning.
When you were bringing up the phoenix again, the article that we just read said a phoenix is born out of ashes, so there must be some form of wreckage in order for rebuilding to take place. And looking at the world right now, if we look at it in terms of the phoenix, we're in the burning stage.
Yeah.
The wreckage is burning. And I got another flash out of that. There are different ways to interpret Scripture, literally or symbolically and metaphorically. And the Bible, especially the Christian New Testament, speaks about the end of this age would be by fire. That the current world would be destroyed by fire as the ancient world was destroyed by water, flood. No more of that. This one would be fire, the prophet said. Well, I know we've got trouble out there with the fire element being out of balance and forest fires and all of that, and the hottest year on record last year. So there's some of that outer truth. But what if what the prophets and the symbolic language, the metaphorical language that they use was talking about like the burning of the phoenix, that the old structures have to topple and dissolve in order to make way for the new world that's rooted in cooperation, harmony, peace, and the direct knowledge of the divine. So, nice.
Yeah.
Nice meditation. Interestingly, my Taoist master, who was the spiritual master of my youth that taught me the whole foundation of my spiritual life, his monastic name was Yi Feng. And Yi Feng means mind of phoenix. And very much he embodied that consciousness. So it's interesting how that's looping so much right now.
It really is. It's like, to clean out, it was just a normal sized closet, but I couldn't believe how much stuff I had put in there. Paperwork back to 2006 and all kinds of stuff, things from processes we did, and just stacks and stacks of stuff. And, you have to take everything out of it and sort through it to figure out what you want to put back in. And it was quite an archaeological dig, but it was really good because the more you do that, it's not weighing on you in the back of your mind. And I know that there's, like I said, there's so much written on this and minimalism and, letting go of things. But it's just been the process I've really been going through. And it's helping me open my eyes to see how compulsively we just purchase and consume things as a society. And oh, I want that. Oh, it'll be here tomorrow on Amazon. What's that doing for the environment? Gasoline and the trips and just all of it. So starting to take a deeper dive into that whole subject, meditation.
So Ekaterina wrote So it's normal to have periods of darkness. I'm in need of a rebirth. Yeah, you know, the times of fire gives off light and warmth. It is not necessarily a time of darkness when the old structures in our lives are combusting, igniting in the presence of God. It may feel like what we want to call darkness because it's unpleasant, but those times of shedding and letting go often bring great illumination to us, you know?
And warmth.
Darkness is more the result of having what you want and just being static. I mean, or stuck. Maybe you don't have what you want. Maybe you're miserable. But it's when we're stuck and there's no light. That's a time of darkness. Sometimes we misinterpret it. Sometimes it's the midnight sun, and it is shining so brightly that structures that no longer serve in our lives are being dissolved and released to make way for something better. So, yes, we're all in need of rebirths, many of them.
And sometimes seeing the darkness or feeling the darkness is just resistance to that light, to that fire, to that rebirth. And that part of ourselves, the old part that doesn't want to let go, the small self, the ego, that part is holding on and kicking and screaming and resisting. And instead of just enjoying the warmth of the fire and the transformation inside of our body, mind, and soul, it's we're holding on to something. We're holding on to something we don't want to let go of, and that causes suffering and darkness and makes the process a lot more difficult than it needs to be.
And sometimes there is just darkness.
Yeah, that's true too.
That is part of it as well. So we all know that there are periods of darkness which are no more than the light being eclipsed. You know, when the sun is in a full eclipse, it's still there. It's absolutely still there. It's just not being seen at that moment, which to our ancient elders could be quite distressing. You know, when that sun got covered up like
what
that.
happened? Where'd the sun go? It's the end of the world.
Well, okay, no questions this week, because that wasn't really a question. Your choice. Then we're going to just dive in. But I do recommend each time you come to Satsang, whether it's here or whatever spiritual community you're a part of, that you look inside for what you might share in the way of an insight or a breakthrough, but sometimes more powerful is when we're vulnerable and transparent enough to share some puzzle that we're dealing with and ask for light to shine. So I'm just saying, it's up to you. So go ahead and close your eyes and invoke the Divine Presence. The Presence lives within you in all of its fullness, not just a drop or two. Rumi said, you're not a drop of the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop. This presence within you is pure, unconditional love. It loves you deeply, infinitely, exactly as you are. Practically incomprehensible to us is this kind of love. The divine is not holding you in darkness or at arm's length until you get holy enough or clear enough karma. No, that's all from poor religious teaching. There is no distance, no separation between you and the divine source, and it yearns to dissolve the veil of illusion that makes it seem to you that there is some distance or darkness, for there is none. Receive the illuminating grace of the Divine Presence to melt the veil of illusion and separation and duality, and flood your heart with the light of divine unity. Just receive the flowering heart blessing. There's nothing to do. The divine knows what you need and is pouring it out to you. Receive. It will flood your spirit with light, your soul, your thoughts and your emotions, your feelings. It will clear the mind field and fill you with inspired ideas and understanding. It will shine into your physical body, bringing healing to you and to your relationships. Receive it. Drink it in. Breathe it in. Soak it up. Just be in gratitude and keep receiving. Keep soaking it up and drinking it in. Now I invite you to keep your eyes closed and envision us sitting in a circle. Visualize us sitting in a circle together. Lift up your hands with your palms open, facing forward. Let us take a strong intention for the divine to pour the flowering heart blessing through each and every one of us to all the others sitting in the circle as it's flowing back to us through all of them. visualize the planet Earth in the middle of our circle. Slightly reduce the size. See the beautiful blue, translucent, living planet Gaia, Mother Earth. And let us take a strong intention that the divine presence will flow through the blessings that we're sharing tonight to bring healing to the earth. Healing to the skies, the waters, the lands, and all of the creatures living on this beautiful planet. Filling the earth with the flowering heart blessing, causing the hearts of all people to blossom, melting away fear and anger and hatred, violence, flooding the hearts of all humanity with light, peace, and unconditional love. Hearts of all humanity awaken to the direct knowledge of God. And flower with the rivers of living water and love unconditional. Now you could relax, rest your hands somewhere in your lap. When you're ready, open your eyes. Begin to make direct eye contact with Suzanne and or me. Just keep gazing at least one of our eyes and don't look away as we dive into the light meditation. Suzanne and I are flooded with oceans of grace and light and love. And it's pouring through every part of our being to you, especially through our eyes. Mystics refer to the eyes as the doorways of the soul. And through our eyes, flowing streams of light that bring about awakening and the flowering of divine love in the heart. Just keep looking. Just keep looking. That's all you need to do. And it pours out of our eyes, in through your eyes, into your spiritual heart to cause the flames of divine love, the light of awakening to burn brighter, brighter, and brighter. Keep meditating as long as it feels right to you, and or find a spot to lie down in Shavasana. It's a beautiful yoga pose where you just lie comfortably on your back with your eyes closed, your arms at your sides with your palms open, turned upward, and just dissolve in the presence and gratitude. We love you very much.
Much love, light, and blessings.
Until we meet again, know that the divine in us beholds the divine in you, and we bow to you.
Namaste.
Namaste.